As he always does, he walks out onto the pitch. Let's have a look at their team for Parramatta tonight. And at fullback, we've got Scott Mann. On the wings, Krankovic and Bartolo. Woods and Buton at the centres. Kenny Galbraith at 5/8 and half, respectively. Dunn, Flanagan, Fernley, Blair, Weston, Horrow, their forwards. And South Sydney comes on out now. Michael Andrews is the captain. And they really can't afford a loss here tonight. Let's have a look at their side, the South Sydney side. Rod Maybon at the back. Lindmeyer is one wing. Mellor is the other. Wilson and Thompson the centres. Darren Brown and Craig Field, 5/8 and half. Then Fuller, Doniger, Andrews, Lyons, Garlick and Carroll are 10 points down. And they won President's Cup 20 points to 4. The Eels kick off in front of their home crowd. A good crowd it is too. And South Sydney with the job now of bringing it out off their 10-metre line in the opening exchanges. This is Carroll. He was one of several South Sydney players under a cloud for tonight's game. Apparently, a bout of flu went through the entire camp. Matthew Fuller is the acting half, and here's the first penalty given by Kelly. South Sydney with a relieving kick from 12 metres on their own side of the halfway. It looked as though he might have caught Big Dallas Western inside the 5.
As we've said so often through the season, really an ordinary penalty to give away in that first set of 6. The players know that the referee is going to be looking for an infringement just to stamp some authority. And Weston, standing next to the referee on that occasion, was the man at fault. And there's the mistake. Bad drop ball there from Lindmeyer to start his game off.
A show of big match nerves for young John Lindmeyer. This is all he had to do was catch and run, but he couldn't catch it. He snatched at it. He was probably very anxious to get on with the job at hand. Galbraith feeds, Parramatta wins. Kenny goes across. Butner throws the dummy to the great Parramatta number 6. Butner takes the tackle. Galbraith feeds it on. Horrow takes it up. And he's met by a wall of South Sydney defence. These two clubs have met 4 times at Parramatta Stadium. And ironically, Souths have won 3 of those 4 clashes. There's been a few scripts written for the clashes between Parramatta and South down through the years, but Souths have upset the apple cart and the script writers. Butner tries to get a ridiculous pass away. Carroll it is that's brought down about 7 metres on his own side of the halfway. I think, in fact, the ground record crowd here at Parramatta Stadium belongs to a match between Parramatta and South. Brown had to use quick hands. Thompson couldn't handle. Maybon picks it up. And they're tackled, South Sydney, 9 metres on their own side of the halfway, where it's played by Rod Maybon and fed by Garlick. Lyons it is that's tackled right on the halfway mark. Paul Vorton and Peter Sterling with me in the commentary box. Steve Roach on the sidelines for another of our Friday night football matches around Australia on the wide world of sports. This is 5 for South. Away to Craig Field, and he's had a tremendous start to the year. They're all onside now, providing they were outside the 10, those that were in front of the kicker. Mann is brought down 8 metres away from his own line. And coming away with it is Danny Krankovic. In the side for Robert Muchmore. Very similar players in a lot of ways. Galbraith has signed a fresh contract with Parramatta. Was there a hint of a little headbutt there? I don't know. Kelly didn't see it anyway. Gives the penalty to Parramatta. And that will relieve the situation deep in their own territory.
It ended up being a slow play, the ball, and that fooled Mark Carroll. He got out of the second mark position much too quickly, and Tony Kelly swooped. Michael Butner taking the kick from centre field just inside his 20-metre line and finds it just on 30 out. A little bit of drop ball from both sides to start this game.
This crowd, I thought, was disappointing a half an hour before kickoff, but it has filled out. And just looking into the Michael Cronin stand on the opposite side of the ground, there's a very healthy crowd in here at Parramatta Stadium. Weston played it. That's an awful pass from Flanagan. Blair is cut down 35 out from his own line. Galbraith, short ball away for Fernley, wearing the number 10 jumper. Interesting to note that though Parramatta's in front of South on the Winfield Cup ladder, in fact, to the tune of 4 points. Here's Flanagan getting out from dummy half, doing some good work. No tries scored 4. dramatically favour South Sydney. In fact, they've scored something like 8 tries more than Parramatta. Maybon, he got away with that, I thought.
It came off his chest and the referee signalled that way. He went to catch the ball, but came off his chest, and provided it didn't come off his hands, there's no knock on. Off his lummox, actually.
Garlick. Paul Vorton back with us tonight. It's his first appearance on our league commentary team since State of Origin 1. Carroll plays it. Craig Field now towing it down the ground. Scott Mann beautifully positioned and bringing it back towards the halfway. Horrow at dummy half. For Buettner it goes to Kenny. Kenny standing out at second receiver, and Souths are inside the 5 for Tony Kelly, and a penalty goes to Parramatta.
Shane Wilson looking to get up very quick in the centre position for South, ruled offside. You see him out wide there, just inside his winger, leading the charge up. And Tony Kelly said no, much too quickly. We saw Wilson play in the fullback position during the Tooheys challenge and did a great job there. Rod Maybon has now settled into the number 1 shirt, and Wilson has found his way into the centre position.
So this is probably the first real chance that either have had. And Paul Dunnett is that takes the first hit up off the tap. They're 10 metres out from the line. Flanagan for Galbraith. Horrow didn't time his run all that well. He does bump away from a tackle, but he's put down 12 metres out from the line. Flanagan again acting half. Galbraith from right to left. Buettner from left to right. Weston goes up the centre. 12 metres out from the South line. The crisscross move by the Eels. Now Fernley. Fernley looking to pop a pass, but the defence was very solid. Mark Lyons to the 4. Flanagan uses Cameron Blair, the 2 former Western Suburbs players in the Eels lineup. They're 3 metres out. This is the last tackle. Galbraith puts the grubber kick in. Can South get back? I think they have.
He's done a great job there, Craig Field. Got into the field to play. Brett Kenny tried to force him back into the in-goal area. But I thought a couple of wasted tackles from the Eels. On the 3rd and 4th play, 2 forwards just taking the ball forward, only 10 metres out. There you see Field just getting back in, and that saved his side a line dropout.
Carroll, short pass and a good pass from Carroll. Picking up Mark Lyons, running just off his right hip. Now back for the clear from Craig Field. Dropping back to take that responsibility. Mann. Thompson went in hard, but he came off second best. This is Bartolo. 42 out from his own line. Flanagan away for Krankovic, coming off his wing. Flanagan again. They're in the centre of the pitch as it goes for Horrow down the centre.
He's really hit some form lately, Mark Horrow, hasn't he? Had a big game against Manly last game, and the lock forward's been inspirational for them the last couple of weeks.
I like a couple of the hit-ups that Paul Dunn has put on tonight. He's running with great gusto, and he's easily over the ad line. Buettner's kick rolls around in the in-goal. It goes over the dead ball, so it comes back out now for the 22-metre drop, place kick, I should say, for the restart. Peter, that shoulder there for Brett, you've had it, you know what it's like. Is it bothering him right now? I mean, just the mere thought that I've got this problem there?
Well, it's a difficult thing to get out of your mind, Ray, but you'd be looking to get involved as much as possible. He's been used as a decoy on a couple of occasions, and from a team point of view, that's not a bad thing. He's probably the players for South Sydney would be looking for Kenny to get involved, and that's a good ploy to miss him out on a couple of occasions. Hasn't done much defence now. That's going to be the test, but he'll go in nice and hard, and he's wearing an especially designed brace tonight, which is...
Scott Mann, Peter, with a great run for the Eels. A run of about 50 metres, ending 35 out from the south line. Buettner away for Kenny. That neat little pass away, but Krankovic takes the tackle, gives his team a quick play the ball. Galbraith feeds. Dunn puts a short ball under the chest of Horrow, and he's 30 metres away from the south line. Flanagan, Dunn, short pass, Fernley. The big fellow standing, he could have popped it. Nobody really keen to run off him. They've drawn 3 defence men in. They put it through 3 sets of hands. Buettner cuts out Woods. Krankovic down the line. Krankovic close. Referee looks at the in goal. Second movement, double movement against Danny Krankovic.
Oh, some great backline play by the Eels. Kenny, a nice pass out, and Krankovic steaming down that touchline. Did well to beat a couple here. Mabon comes over. I don't know if the ball hit the ground, did it? And the elbow carrying the ball didn't hit the ground for mine. I thought it's a fair try.
Well, let's get it up again. Let's get it up again and have a look at it, because it was a crucial decision for Tony Kelly.
I think the question is to whether, well, you see Krankovic carrying the ball in the right arm there, and when it comes to ground, I think he converts it across. Yeah, no try.
No, dead set. The referee's advice from the touch judge and the in goal was spot on. The arm carrying the ball came in contact with the grass, and after that happens, you can't promote the position of the ball. A big break by Lions for South. Craig Field takes the pass. Back it goes, it's play on. Scooped away by Mabon. Knocked down by Brett Kenny. Picked up by Lindmeyer. Lindmeyer takes it back to the halfway. In and away from Paul Dunn, and he's pulled down 45 out. We could have some excitement on our hands here tonight. And those prepared to throw it about. Carroll to play it. 35 out. They're going blindside. Andrews was running decoy with Fuller. Now Andrews is used in the play. Short pass Fuller. Craig Field goes to the 20-metre line. In and away he goes. The ball is on the ground. Parramatta's with it. No, they're not. They've lost it. 6 more tackles for the Rabbits. Played by Donegan. South's attacking. 25 out. Garlic pummeled into the ground. Solid tackle by Kenny, but it's a penalty. It's against the Parramatta defence, including Brett Kenny. And South will take the kick for goal, undoubtedly.
There's a nice hard tackle here by Brett Kenny. He's come in and crunched Garlic and put him on the ground. That's the big point. His left shoulder hit the ground heavily there, so that shoulder's okay. But just a bit too long getting off the tackle play.
Field, not a difficult kick, almost centre field at 29 metres out.
Field gets plenty of height. Distance is okay, but he's offline with direction. No score, and that's the way it is after 12 minutes from the stadium. 0-0, Parramatta and South Sydney in Friday night football. Buechner with the 22-metre restart. Mabon sending young Paul Miller back to the halfway line. Big lump of a lad, Miller, one of the young, well, potential champions for the South Sydney side in years to come. Field, oh gee, that forward ran onto the ball strongly, Jeremy Doniger. They've improved their position, they're 35 metres out. Carroll takes it to the 30-metre line. Fernley picked him up on the end of a shoulder. Garlic for Field, on for Brown, cut out Thompson, and around the back for Mabon. 40 out, good tackle out there by Young Woods, the centre. Now Thompson kicks ahead, he got knocked over late. There'll be a penalty here where the ball landed. Referee Kelly applies the advantage, now takes it back and gives the penalty to South Sydney.
Well, Kelly was dead set, nearly going to rule 6 to go then he thought better of it, thought maybe the penalty would be more of an advantage to them. But he's held back there by Paul Dunn, is Thompson. Always going to be a penalty from there. And watch him, see the referee nearly going to rule 6. He did. And then he goes back and re-awards the penalty.
Yeah.
With Fatty, Sterlo, Blocker and the Moose, and then Canterbury and Manly on Sunday night. Field's kick looks a beauty. Straight over the dot. And South Sydney's flags go up. They lead Parramatta after 15 minutes by 2 points to 0. Takes it to the halfway line. Flanagan pushes it on for Dunn. Weston's with him. Weston, they read the play, South, and wrap the big and useful second rower up. They go on to the left for Buechner to turn it inside for Woods. And of course, his return to the game tonight has been overshadowed by the return of Brett Kenny. He went out with, from memory, knee problem. Was it, Peter, against Cronulla in round 2?
No, he's actually got a shoulder problem very similar to Kenny's. They had a 14-0 win that day, and Wood scored both tries, so it was a big loss for the club. Nice to see him back, but it is a shoulder problem also.
Concentrated defence from South on Mark Carroll. 3 of them, Weston, Fernley and Flanagan, all had a bite of the cherry. Now Matthew Fuller, who I'm sure has been spoken to by the Perth club for 1995. I'm not saying that he's accepted, but you can bank on it, the fact that Fuller would be spoken to by Peter Mulholland, former Australian schoolboy. Manoa Thompson puts it high. Mann gets under it. Scotty Mann, a flashy play. Kenny. Horror. 2-0 in the 19th minute of the game. A penalty goal is all we've got to offer. Craig Field, that's a good ball. Krankovic is wrapped up though. Paul Mellor, not Paul Mellor, but Shane Wilson read the play well. Galbraith finds Blair crabbing across the ground. 50 out. Galbraith out and away, shows it. Then he takes the tackle of Craig Field, so it was 7-on-7. Mann pushes blindside for Buettner to kick down to Maybon. And here's this crowd-pleasing fullback. Not much of him, but he always beats the first line. This time he's beaten the second and the third. Gets a pass inside, picked up by Lintmeier. Working from the left wing to the right.
Wasn't that beautiful counter-attack by South Sydney, but a poor chase by Parramatta, letting one man come up instead of 3 or 4. Great run by Maybon.
Weston is still getting to his feet after making the chase on Maybon. So Parramatta are on their heels at the moment. Matthew Fuller to play the ball. 18 metres out from the Parramatta line. Garlick hears the call in the centre from Carroll. Carroll's brought down. He's 9 metres out. Dummy half is Andrews. Now with Field. On for Brown. Inside for Thompson. They won't stop Thompson. Thompson puts it down, and South Sydney, they score the first try of the game.
Very exciting football side, South Sydney, when they're on their honour tonight. I think they're on fire. Here's how it all started. There it is. Only 1 or 2 men went up there. That left Maybon the space to make the long break. Nice inside ball, and Lintmeier backed up well. Now from there the play went on, and in the end it was Darren Brown, a beautiful inside ball. You can see Thompson setting himself on the inside. A little bit of a gap there. A poor missed tackle both by Dunn and then Flanagan, and over goes Thompson.
Yeah, give some raps there to Lintmeier as well. He's backed up Rod Maybon from the kick chase from the opposite wing. So he's come from this left-hand wing and taken a pass on the far side of the field. Ray Warren pointed that out. So great work from the winger. Shane Flanagan there just didn't come across quickly enough in defence. As Craig Field, a conversion attempt to extend the lead.
Almost in front. He keeps it low. Well, he didn't keep it low intentionally. Thompson, a big kicker of the ball. This will go 50 on the fly. It does that. Buettner goes back. A run of 18 metres for Michael Buettner.
As we mentioned before, Ray, the beauty of Manoa Thompson kicking the football is he kicks it long, but he also kicks it very high. It allows the chase to get through. He put that line drop out 50 metres. The player bringing it back was only able to gain 10 by the time the chase arrived.
Dunn works with Galbraith twice, and then Bartolo tries to get outside Lintmeier. Finds Galbraith inside. Buettner likewise to the centre of the ground. They're 20 metres out. Flanagan thought about going left, popped out to the blind side, made 10 easy yards, and a penalty goes to the Eels. South Sydney inside the 5 on the blind side.
A nice play by Shane Flanagan. He saw that South were up inside the 5, ran to them. Good bit of play. He milked the penalty and got it. And Buettner will have the shot for goal.
And he's got a job on his hands here. Got it away beautifully. It's curling around, but between the uprights. And so Parramatta gets their first points. They trail South Sydney 6 points to 2. Galbraith using Dunn. Weston was the man to run that time off a forward. Galbraith rakes it away for Fernley, but he's wrapped up by Andrews underneath and over the top by Doniger. Woods out and away from dummy half. He gets off the mark very quickly, David Woods.
Just too disorganised at the moment, the Parramatta side. Really need to get some momentum going, just take some forward charges up with support, but at the moment, too much back and forward across the ruck area, really not making any ground. And here we see a kick fairly easily cleaned up by South, only 42 metres out from their own line. So straight away, back on the attack.
Lintmeier was the first of the South Sydney players to take it back on this set of 6. Matthew Fuller has since played it. It's gone away. They look for the opening just a little bit to the side of the ruck. Played by Lyons. Carroll puts himself into service again. And Mark Carroll has tackled 35 out from the line. South looking dangerous as Fuller tries to make a break up the centre. Field is standing there, marshalling his troops, putting them through the gaps. Now the kick. Mann. He mightn't get back into the field of play. Yes, he does. Well, that was a never-say-die effort by Scott Mann.
Nice work by Scotty Mann. Just got back in the nick of time, but the kicking game from South, that one not high enough. As far as I'm concerned, it should have been another 10 foot up, give the South defence plenty of time to get through. They're playing pretty well, South, full of enthusiasm. And I think that's where they're getting on top of Parramatta at this stage in the game, out-enthusing them.
Krankovic. Dunn. Steady as they go now, Parramatta. They're trailing 6-2 and prepared to kick. I thought early, but I just looked across and saw that the hand was in the air, so they used their 5. But I'll tell you what, they've come up with awful field position because Trindle is put down on only the second tackle, 25 metres from the Parramatta line. Fuller uses Lintmire to take it towards the centre of the park. Garlick's in position at acting half.
Mark Lyon standing out in the back line for South. Here he comes now. Inside Manoa Thompson, doesn't get the ball. The defence out wide. Cameron Blair going up quickly.
Played by Thompson. Off from dummy half goes Lyons. He didn't touch the ground. It was away for Thompson, on for Field. Pushed out along the line for Trindle. And he's brought down 18 metres out. That's 5 gone for South now. They lead 6-2. Fuller passes to Field. He tries to get a pass away and Cameron Blair was there to take it.
I thought Field passed the ball to Blair and basically took an intercept.
Yeah, he's ruled that Blair has knocked it on at some stage. It didn't look like it hit the ground to myself.
Well, that's a big decision. A South Sydney feed. There it is, the other side, yeah.
Good decision by Kelly, and now South get the feed, and they're inside Para's 20.
Won by the Rabbits. Field gives it out. A long pass for Trindle. Then Shane Wilson. We saw him playing fullback in the Tooheys Challenge. He played well. Former Illawarra player. Matthew Fuller, 12 metres from the line. Can the Rabbits score here? Around the back from Field. Maybon comes into his back line. Copybook tackle by Kenny. Lintmire using Carroll. 12 metres out. Parramatta's defence tested here. Field again. Trindle on the run around with Thompson. That made the extra man. Shane Wilson goes towards the corner. 12 metres out from the line. Dummy half Mella. This is the last. Charge down. That's 6 more. So Parramatta have put real pressure back on themselves as Craig Field is banged into the turf. 20 metres out from the line. That's tackle 1. Garlick. Garlick's 11 out. Field into acting half. Carroll goes for a header. Dunn takes him. Big man on big man. Garlick again. Centre of the park to the right. Trindle. Fuller. Looks inside. Puts it outside. Wilson for Mellor. Mellor taken into touch. Great defence by Parramatta.
Oh, Mark Corrow's done a marvellous job there. He was actually in about 1 or 2 passes, stood there to see where the ball was going to go, and then came up with the tackle out wide. Great cover defence, and it's really a try saver there, taking the man into the.
Horro, I mean, he's been the backbone of the Parramatta side this year. He just made a covering tackle over there a couple of minutes ago and was first to take the football out from behind Parramatta's line.
Talking of Mark Horro, this is him getting across the ground.
Ray, on this first half performance, I don't think the Eels would be too disappointed going in 4 points down. South Sydney had the mind, the better of play, and looked more dangerous with the football. So at 6-2, the Eels probably will get some confidence out of that. They would expect a better second half showing.
Well, don't forget that Souths have had the advantage of this breeze that we've spoken about coming out of the south in the first half, but rather than pick up, I think it might have even dropped off a bit. Michael Buettner's kick, it hasn't offered them much field position. In fact, they've put a lot of pressure on Buettner's kicking game, South, and it's worked for them. Maybon carries it back on the first tackle. So, in fact, South's come back with the ball into Parramatta's area on the first on this set of 6.
There's only 2 minutes to go now. Real danger time for the Parramatta team. South looking to exert some more pressure and convert that into points. Good chance to do so here as Field picks up Carroll again up the middle of the ruck. Some missed tackles now creeping into this Parramatta side. When Maybon brought that ball back from the kick, he beat 4 tackles.
Now they work a wide blindside. Andrews gives it to Field, but he's wrapped up. 25 out, and 5 tackles have gone for the Rabbits, and Craig Field is injured. That's a real danger sign for South Sydney. Mark Carroll goes for a drop goal. The front row has gone for the 1 point. And I'll tell you what, he's got it. That's a miracle kick by Mark Carroll. Look at the smile on his face.
Well, what about the ease that he kicked it with? It was the last tackle. He's just dropped it onto the right boot. Hit it perfectly. It's just sneaked over.
Oh, come on, Mark. You didn't mean that, sure.
The hands went straight up in the air.
7-2 in favour of the Rabbits. Blocker, you couldn't have done this.
No, I could never have done that, but you should have seen the South Sydney bench there, mate.
7-2 is the half-time score. Mark Carroll has a bit of a chat to Craig Field. He says, it's not that hard. I thought it was difficult. 7-2 in favour of the Rabbits. An incredible end to the first half. Will break, and then we come back with Sterlo and Fatty and more of Friday Night Football.
In the South room, they're pretty happy with the possession they're getting, and they're saying that the Parramatta markers aren't working, so let's try and put a few ruck plays on around the middle of the ruck.
All right, thank you, Steve. Mark Horrow is the first of the Parramatta players to get a touch in the second half. Parramatta on 10 points in the Winfield Cup. They're jointly just out of the 5 by 1 point, together with Canberra and Manly. Manly, of course, have a match coming up on Sunday against Canterbury. That's our telecast match for Sunday night. And then, of course, Monday night we go back to the Sydney Football Stadium for State of Origin 2. Rod Maybon carries it back 38 metres from his own line, was tackled by Scott Marn. And John Lintmire plays the ball now, close to the halfway line for Fuller to take on the Parramatta forward.
After an early mistake from Lintmire, we saw him drop the ball from a tap kick. His game has got very, very good from there. So the ball play's been outstanding, and the kind of winger who's gone looking for the football. He's had a fair bit of possession out there today and done it pretty well.
Doniger. He's also put some quality into his game. Grabbing an opportunity. Trindle away for Field. Out of 5/8 now. Trindle does some light stepping. Puts it on the boot. And cleaned up well over there by Joe Bertolo.
Well, the tackle player there's Manoa Thompson. I think it's got to be a mile offside. He was well in front of the kicker and still affected the tackle. So here we see Trindle on the last, getting the kick away. Now Bartolo dives on it.
We've got a new boy in town there, Peter.
Yeah, Steve told us that Chris King is on Ray for Dallas Western. King's had plenty of first-grade experience, of course, and looking to get back in the top grade, a real worker.
It was a subdued first half on his return match by Dallas Western. I don't think he's 100%. You may have aggravated an old injury. Blocker, you might check that out for me if you don't mind.
You already have, Ray. I said at half-time he's come off with a cork thigh.
All right, Lintmire. Galbraith's not happy with referee Kelly, who's going to put a high tackle on the Parramatta player.
Well, it's Cameron Blair that's come across. And he did get the arm up high. Let's have a look at it from a better angle. Well, it's going to be penalised in this day and age. I don't think there was
There's nothing in it.
too much to it.
Nothing.
But it's a penalty, isn't it?
1993 it is.
Exactly.
Manoa Thompson finding the line. Midway between 20 and halfway. Garlick just taps the ball and hands it on for Carroll. Apparently that's okay what he just did with that tap free. It's okay to do that these days. Now that was a forward pass. And that's bad play by South.
Very poor play. Basic play from the dummy half, and he's thrown the ball forward. The referee right in line there. That's unbelievable. Obviously that man there was Doniger, was supposed to go through as a decoy. There was another man outside.
It also is the danger, but as a penalty the feeder crosses awarded to Parramatta. The danger in this day and age where the player tries to get right to that advantage line before receiving the ball. We've seen on a lot of occasions that man actually overruns it and comes up with that forward pass. It does put a lot of pressure on the dummy half.
Chance now for Parramatta. Butner finding the line, 28 metres out. Dunn crashed into the ground by Carroll. Now Galbraith.
2 balls on the field, that's why Kelly stopped. So 4 tackles still left for the Eels. Galbraith crawling to the right.
Switching play back to the blind. Dunn uses Galbraith on the runaround. And now Butner. Galbraith again. Fernley. Galbraith. Kenny. Lets a player go. It's a penalty.
Got in for a Shepherd. It's a Brett Kenny special.
Yeah, it was. What about the ball to David Woods to score the try? Lovely little pass, but unfortunately, by Kenny holding the ball, trying to pick up an outside man, we've come up with the Shepherd. Let's have a look at it. Well, the man going through was the man ruled to have interfered with the...
Yeah, Matthew Fuller was taken out of play. And the shades of 82 there for Burt.
I think at the moment Parramatta need to see a few more shades of 82 from Brett. They need to get him involved. The longer the game goes on, the better he's looking, the more confident he is looking. And that will be infectious to the players around him.
Ball played 40 metres out from his own line by Donegan. Trindle away, short passing through Carroll for Maybon. Maybon 33 out from his own line, and Field goes out from dummy half. A nice pass away for Lyons. A gain of some 10 or 15 metres. Field runs to the attack, charged down by Flanagan. 6 more tackles for the Rabbitohs. Carroll to play. Garlick. Fuller. Taking it up to that Parramatta defence line. This is a penalty to South. The point I was going to make about Matthew Fuller, he's a player with all the skills, and he's not very big, and I don't think this is the job for him. Hit-ups that really should be reserved for the front and second rowers. Manoa Thompson finding the line. 30 metres out from the Eels goal line. Mellor running to be tackled. Donegan. Good driving defence by the Eels. Souths have got it to where they want it. Field and Carroll, they work the cross. Garlick. Now Andrews uses Field. Field goes through a gap. 10 metres from the line. Kicks for himself. Krinkovic cleans up.
And there was the genius of Craig Field. A hit of a Shepherd in that play at some stage. But he's a wonderful little player, this kid. He's could have showed all the skills here. A South player went through there. I don't feel a Parramatta player was impeded. He beat Butner, put the little one in at the end. Well, South players coming through.
I don't know if that was much different to the one we saw down the other end. It's looking to get play going again. Quick tap taken there. Now Paul Dunn taking the hard yards, can't pop the ball. Support play has been there for Parramatta, but when the player has received it, he hasn't really been in a better position to carry on the play.
Fernley. 16,000 here at the stadium at Parramatta tonight. Chris King. In fact, 16,020. Flanagan away for Dunn. Short passing for Horrow. Horrow able to bump away from Shane Wilson. Leaves the ball on the tarmac. And now South take it over the line.
Oh, very clever. Bit of rugby union.
Danger player for South Sydney is Paul Dunn. Galbraith, long ball for Kenny. Butner goes one way, Woods goes ahead. Mann is the ball carrier. Woods got poleaxed as he went through. Bartolo goes down 15 metres out from the line. Flanagan. Brett Kenny is down injured now. Buettner, Galbraith, long pass, picked up by Cameron Blair, given on for Mark Horrow. He turns it inside, and it's gone away now with Kenny back on his feet. Now with Mark Horrow. 5 tackles, we're on now. South come away with it. Darren shot it is.
Horrow's having an unbelievably great game. He's almost taking them on 1 out.
Unbelievably great.
Yeah, every time he gets the ball, he's taking 2 and 3 out. South now try to counter-attack. We see Brett Kenny again, a lot more involved here. He's on the inside. He trails up this half a break by Horrow. Beautiful hands by Horrow. And there's Kenny. Horrow gets up and goes on with it from here.
5 gone for South. They're in a bit of trouble here. Trindle gets a short kick away. It may find the line. Krankovic. Now he decides to pick it up. Why wouldn't you? Krankovic. An arc-like run. Now he straightens. 12 metres out from the line. The Parramatta fans are on their feet now for one of the few times. Fernley. Flanagan. Now done. Carroll launching himself. Galbraith gets it away. Mann. He puts on 2 steps on the same blade of grass. 12 metres out from the line. Joe Bartolo flops the ball back for Galbraith. Dunn gets a one-hander out the back, and Galbraith is tackled. 5 metres out from the line. Away from Bartolo or Flanagan. Buettner. Now Blair. Blair for Chris King. King, he's big and tall. Has he got it down? No.
He's big and tall and he's in touch.
7-2 then after 52 minutes in favour of South. Friday night football. Well, welcome back to the stadium. And a great passage of play on the other side of the break for Parramatta, but equally as good was the defence of South Sydney. Maybon.
I think that was shown by the fact that Parramatta kept the ball alive, but King, when he went to take the ball towards the try line, had 3 tacklers take him over the sideline. So great scrambling. Excellent defence.
Garlic. Field. Reefing it down the ground, but Scott Mann has come up with it 42 metres out from his own line. Krankovic. Buettner. Paul Dunn. Penalty goes to Parramatta. South inside the 5. Buettner's been told to kick for line. Well, now they've decided to check all that. Just put it on hold.
I think that's the right decision, Ray. When you're deciding what to do with the penalty, you try and work out what the opposition wants you to do. I think South were looking for a shot for goal there. Absorbed a lot of pressure in the last couple of minutes.
Little Galbraith talking to his troops, telling them which play is coming, making sure that every player knows what part he plays. Dunn tackled, 10 out. Here's a chance for Parramatta. Galbraith using Chris King. Now they're at the centre. Buettner's to the right. Galbraith goes back that way, but tackled is Fernley. 5 metres from the line. Flanagan. Kenny. Kenny able to pop it out the back. Cameron Blair. Still able to keep it alive. Paul Dunn. Dunn is 8 metres from the line. They've used 3 tackles. It might be 4. Galbraith and David Woods put it together. Woods has tackled 9 metres out. That was 5. Woods goes from dummy half. And that's the turnover.
It's been great South Sydney defence tonight. They've really come up at every ruck. They're coming up, meeting them. Parramatta on the advantage line, driving them backwards.
Hermanson for South Sydney He has taken the field.
Looks like Mark Carroll, game leaving the field. The player carrying headgear, yes, there he is. That's Carroll coming off.
Michael Andrews. 5 gone. They're only 20 metres out from their line. Thompson's kick will see Parramatta come back with it. Mann will be tackled. But 5 metres into South's territory.
Lost the ball.
First, and he's lost the football. Well, that's a bad play for Scott Mann and Parramatta. And now the penalty goes to South.
Yeah, good play by Thompson there. He saw once again that Parramatta was well inside the 10, the 5. Brett Kenny's not happy about the penalty. But Thompson ran from dummy half and caught the ball napping.
Brett Kenny had something to say to the referee. Kelly called him out immediately.
There's no doubt that penalty was justified. I just wonder if Kenny believes that maybe Mann was stripped of the football by one of the South's players. He really couldn't be arguing about his own men inside the 5.
This is Hermanson, 25 out from the line. Doniger, good pass. Fuller was there. Kenny has to wrap him up. Garlick to the left. Field. Oh, Andrews took a high shot.
Yeah, he bent his arm. It was high, and there's a bit of a melee starting now with Cameron Blair involved. I don't want to talk too much about the incident before we get to see it again, but I thought the arm certainly didn't stay straight. It was high, and it will be a penalty being called out. Coming up, goes high. I think that's as far as it'll go, penalty.
Sign of the times. Craig Field talking of young faces, and he's got it. Souths away from the halfback. Andrews gives it inside for Maybon. Maybon tries to dance his way through, but he's 15 out, tackled and playing it on 5. Garlick, the acting half. They'll go for the drop goal. It came off the hands of a Parramatta player, and Scott Mann brings it back into the field of play to be tackled by Manoa Thompson. This is Bartolo. Cameron Blair. Done. Big match tomorrow at Campbelltown, Western Penrith in the afternoon, and then tomorrow night at Caltex. You should get down there to Caltex. It'll be a big night for the Sharks. They play Newcastle. Michael Buton sending it down the ground, and it'll go back inside the 20 for John Lintmeier.
I'd go to Caltex tomorrow night, Ray, just to see the kickoff.
Why is that, Pete?
I think Bill McPherson might be there, putting boot to ball.
Amazing how you keep up with current affairs, isn't it?
Important things like that need to be known, right?
Absolutely. Hermanson plays it. Field pushing it on for shot. 16 minutes of the match remaining. Welcome to our viewers. And I probably should have done it earlier on, but right across Australia. Melbourne on a delayed basis, along with the Perths and the Adelaides, and of course our friends in Queensland. And this is Danny Krankovic playing it back for Flanagan. Flanagan's tackle count, would you believe, is up to 37 for the game. And as I said, there's 15 minutes to go. Horror. They're good yards by the New Zealand block forward. Fernley.
But for mine, that's a poor play. They've come the blind side. Fernley's the only man there. He did make good ground and open something up, but no support there whatsoever.
Galbraith. Brought down 20 metres out from the South Sydney line. Parramatta, not only do they have to score and convert, they have to pick it up again. Here they are with a chance, but that's the turnover.
Nice play by Parra, the old runaround, and Woods went himself. He had support not on the inside, but back on the outside. Had 2 players unmarked. He takes off like a stolen cat. He's got Kenny and Buton on the outside unmarked. It didn't look that way, unfortunately, for Parramatta.
And again, an excellent tackle from Doniger there. Coming across in cover defence. The back row for South Sydney have been outstanding. And as we've said so many times tonight, so is this man, Mark Carroll, back into the fray now.
I've got a theory about Mark Carroll, which I was going to put to you earlier, as Doniger limps from the field. Trindle throws the dummy. He breaks through, gets to the halfway, picks up Lintmire, turns it on for Maybon. Maybon throws the pass. Playing the ball, Manoa Thompson. Trindle angling his way over towards the 20-metre line.
Still got big numbers this way. Parramatta taking an eternity to get back. It is the last tackle.
Field decides to wait the kick infield. Kenny dives, tries to clean it up. Scoops the pass away for Scott Mann. Mann comes outside the 20-metre line, but the defence of South Sydney closes in. Now done.
There's some brave work here from Brett Kenny, keeping the ball alive at all costs. Scott Martin, well, he's having an outstanding season. His running from fullback has just been tremendous. Shane Flanagan is being sent to the blood bin, not for the first time this year, and Tulson Tollett is the new man on.
Michael Butner playing the ball. Chris King takes it ahead, but there's not too many chinks in this South Sydney defensive line, Paul Vorton. Blair running off, done. There's giving it to Tollett. Tollett makes a break down to the 20-metre line. Tries to get the pass around the corner. It's play on. Here's a try for Parramatta, is it?
Oh, it should have been.
Krankovic.
He stole the ball.
Well, I still think if Krankovic goes for the line the first time instead of trying to come back, he probably scores the try. As it is now, it's going to come back to the 20-metre line. The pass from Tollett is knocked down by a South player here, so it's play on. Kenny there to pick the ball up. He picks up Krankovic with a magnificent around the corner pass. I thought he had to keep going. Wilson was coming, but he had to take the odds and go for the corner. What do you think, Paul?
Yeah, well, he sort of stumbled and stopped him, and if he goes for it, all wingers from the time they're 5 years old are told, you see that corner, go for it. And on that occasion, he stopped.
I think by the fact that he did stop too, it allowed the cover defence more time to get extra troops there in defence. Carroll keeping it alive to Garlick.
I'll tell you something out of that passage of play that I don't know whether you noticed. In the dying seconds of it, Krankovic had the ball stripped off him by a South player. I'm asking the question, who took the corner post? Was it Krankovic or was it the South player?
Steve, some news on the sideline?
Exactly what I was going to say. The South Sydney player took the ball over the sideline. It should have been a scrum, and a scrum feed to Parramatta.
Scott Mann now, 30 metres out from his own line. Well, in fact, Steve, without wanting to disagree with you, I think you'll find it should have been a line dropout for South Sydney.
Well, I thought the South Sydney player took it over the line.
Yeah, no,
before
you're quite right.
post.
You're quite right, but the corner post is part of the in-goal.
Yeah, I don't think the player who took the ball out hit the corner post.
All right, let's not argue any further about it, but you and I basically agree Parramatta should have had the football. Not South Sydney, but Fuller's on his way for the line and recall.
Going for the intercept there, Fuller nearly came up with it as well. There'll be a Parramatta feed. You can see the urgency now creeping into this Parramatta side. They know there's only 10 minutes to go. They need to score twice. Barlow looking for the pass. The lock forward for South Sydney there to knock it down.
Tollett. Woods and Tollett with the latter on the run around. Able to work it back for David Woods. Now, Scott Mann pulled Rod Maybon out of the game there. I don't think it was seen by the touch judges or the referee. Silly play by Scotty Mann. He didn't have to do it.
A silly play from Parramatta in general here, going too close to the sideline.
Been some very poor positional play by the Parramatta side tonight. They've got plenty of players here, but they're playing too close to the sideline on this occasion. The ball's flicked in rather than dive on that. Butner.
Certainly unable to play the ball. Tony Kelly will make a closer inspection. Fernley now to play it. One thing's for sure, he's not soaking up time. The scoreboard 7 points in arrears for Parramatta. 5 gone. Galbraith, Kenny. They'll start to push passes if they haven't already. They have been ordered to turn it over. Kenny rakes it back. Galbraith, 25 out from his own line.
He went from a dumb play there to a genius in the space of 30 seconds. The last tackle.
There's not far between the two, Peter, really.
That's a big play, giving Parramatta back possession. Anyone know that thin line would be you, Rabs.
Tollett, now Butner, thanks for the wrap, 38 out from his own line. Bartelow's the acting half. Tollett at first receiver. Banged into the ground by Shane Wilson. Galbraith. Well read by John Lintmire. He's capping off a good game here. Here he comes across the field. Trindle was there to accept the pass, but Lintmire decided against it. Trindle wrapped up. 7 minutes of time remaining. 9-2 to South. Carroll. Strong effort by Mark. He is a Parramatta junior, and he would be relishing what's happening for him tonight. This is Hermanson. Around the back for Andrews. Andrews put down 12 metres out. They're wide to the right, South. Field, he knows that, and that's why the big ball for Thompson. In and out by Thompson. Back for Craig Field. Field, 2 metres out from the line. And that's 5. Garlick.
Is Carroll setting himself in behind the ruck? No, it's gone to Maybon on the last. Picked up by Kenny beautifully once again.
Great hands, Brett Kenny.
Pretty ordinary kick on the end of this exciting play by South Sydney. Not getting the ball into the in-goal area. Now Parramatta still alive in the game. Only 7 minutes remaining, but they're at the wrong end of the park.
They are, Paul, and it's a forlorn hope to think that victory's there for them. They're 7 behind. They've got to get across it twice. Kenny, his pass over the... Oh, here comes a try, you would think. Shot, pulled down. Great defence by Parramatta's. Chris King it was. No, it was Horro. Now it's out for Thompson. Round the corner for Hermanson. That's a try. That's the ball game. The Rabbits lead by 13-2.
Yeah, it's all over now for the Eels. The poor pass was the play. Shot picked it up, nearly scored himself, and one ruck later they're over, and the boys are happy. Why wouldn't they be? They've played so well tonight. Here's the bad pass. Shot picks it up, nearly went in himself, but from the next play, Parramatta's defence wasn't properly set. That's a nice bit of play by Thompson. Gets around the back of a man with the pass there. No defensive line there for the Eels. They're all over the place. And Hermanson in for the try.
Yeah, certainly very tired at this stage of the game, Parramatta. And it was the haphazard defence here, going up in dribs and drabs, which allowed Hermanson to score the try after good work from Thompson, keeping the ball alive.
Right in front. Just 12 metres out for Craig Field. No mistakes. It's only academic now. 15-2 in favour of South Sydney over Parramatta.
But Francis in 37 has gone out for South Sydney. I was about to say Curry giving an opportunity for his young players. He's a 21 player just to savour a victory here in first grade. As Butner grabs one out of the air.
Well, that's a tremendous piece of work by Michael Butner, but
he's gone out.
He's gone into touch.
And the player taken over the sideline is James Ferguson in 14. Tollett puts a little one over. Butner does very well, contests the ball, controls it. And here's Ferguson. He's the reserve grade number 1, well and truly in touch before the line. I really think their performance tonight has been contained by the Souths team. You know, they haven't played particularly well, the Eels, but the Souths haven't allowed them to either. So, you know, I can't take anything away from this Rabbitoh performance. They've tried hard, Parramatta. The fans will go away at least believing that the effort has gone in. And unfortunately, that dream start that you spoke of has been tempered a little bit by a couple of big losses, and now this one against a side that many expected them to beat.
Gee, some of these hits in the dying minutes of the game, they've still got plenty of power in them as Galbraith puts it down the ground towards the South Sydney 20-metre line. The siren, according to the clock, is 60 seconds away as Rod Maybon makes another incisive run for South Sydney. There's the siren now. So South Sydney have come to Parramatta Stadium very much the underdogs. but they've taken away the prize here tonight. 15 points to 2. 2 tries, 3 goals, 1 drop goal.